tanto jugando suelto como en competición. Tanto si se trata de un rápido 9 hoyos o de un gran 36. Tanto si juegas bajo presión o arrasando, siempre das lo mejor de ti. Nuevo Fuel de FootJoy.
Making courses that kind of fit the schedule. So, you know, some people ask, would you rather play before? Would you rather play after? It's kind of, look, I mean, after major, you are drained. And if, you know, when you win, you're even drained even more. And the guys that follow that up with the next week, it takes a lot out of you, right? Last week took a lot out of me, but I'm fully ready to come out here because I want to get back in the winner's circle. You know, it's seeing what Scotty's doing over the past couple months. You know, it's really cool to watch that, but I want to be there as well. Like I feel like I'm able, you know, if I can put together some good rounds, hopefully we can kind of spark something. So we're just looking for that one little spark, and this is a course I love. You know, the past couple of years I've come out to play, and I think it fits my game. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully we can put together 4 really solid rounds and be there on Sunday.
Other questions? We'll go over here to the left.
Collin, I wanted to get your thoughts on the changes at 2 and 5, back in the tees up. How will it change your approach on those holes, and how do you think it'll play this week?
Yeah, 2 kind of normally playing a little into the wind. I think I've got to hit 2 really good shots to get there. I mean, before you could probably get away with almost, you know, a 5-iron, 6-iron into the green, depending on how good your tee shot was. Fairways are a little wider now since we are a lot farther back, but 5, I mean, I can't see myself really getting there in 2 unless I hit a really good drive, because it's going to probably be into the wind. And even if it is downwind off the right, it's not the easiest green to hit. And it's a wedge pin, it's a wedge green that you can kind of just lay up. But, you know, adding that extra length, I think, I don't know. I don't think the scores were ever really low out here to where, you know, you needed to add that extra length. But I understand it in the sense of like, okay, you know, maybe it's not great to see guys at 6 or 7 iron into par 5s. But these greens are so small, they're actually getting a lot firmer and quicker out here today, and that's great to see. You know, it's only going to make the kind of test a little tougher.
We'll go to Ron on the right.
There was a time not long ago when players' prime was considered late 20s, early 30s, or whatever. Now 3 of the top 4 in the world, yourself included, are under 25 or younger. Has prime age dipped, or did you guys just come out with a different kind of mindset?
I don't know. I mean, it's I think that's what you guys label like, you know, and what you can look at after the fact of like, oh, what was your prime years? I mean, we really don't know what our prime years are, you know, until you look back and look a long time after and say, okay, you played well in this year or these 2 years, and then it kind of tapered off, right? But look, what we're given in college and the resources we're given and that are at our fingertips, growing up, and especially even in junior golf now, like you have these opportunities to be prepared. And I think what Scotty, Victor, myself, you know, what a lot of these young guys, even like the JTs and Jordans, they kind of just inspired us and gave us that belief that it's possible to get out here really quickly. But, you know, JT early on gave me the best advice, was just kind of everyone's got their own path. And, you know, I think everyone's got to realize that you can't just, you know, just because we did it and just because, you know, they might have beat us a couple times in college or a handful of times or whatever, that doesn't mean you automatically come out here and, you know, you're going to have success. There's a lot of hard work. There's a big team behind us that we don't give credit to, or enough credit to. And I think that's what those kids need to understand, is that, you know, there's a lot that goes behind rather than just simply playing golf.
Was the learning curve you had bigger than you thought, smaller than you thought?
Look, I felt like I was as prepared as I could have been. I didn't really reach out to many guys. I didn't really reach out to any. But I did my prep on what I needed to do during these weeks. It's kind of just figuring it out as you go, and how mature you're going to be. I mean, you're living alone. You know, if you've got a friend or you've got a girlfriend or, you know, wife with you, it makes it easier. But we're going to places that we've never been to. You're staying in hotels that you've never, you know, in cities that you've never been. And it's all about how comfortable can you get really quickly. And for me, it was like, you know, I love traveling. I love being around the world. And it was easy. Some people don't get that transition as easy, and that's just part of, you know, professional golf. You have to play around the country. You have to play around the world. And if you can get comfortable with that setting and get comfortable to just the routines Monday through Wednesday, you know, then hopefully by Thursday, all you have to worry about is just going out and making birdies.
Got another one over here on the right.
Collin, you were saying how this is one of your favorite courses and the small greens and stuff. With that and just kind of the tight course, is there any other course like on tour that's quite like this?
You've got like Colonial kind of reminds me of this. You know, where you kind of have to work the ball a little both ways off the tee, narrow fairways, smaller greens. Not saying I don't like the other golf courses that we play, but it's different. You know, I mean, coming from a place like Augusta where the greens are really big, a lot more slope, wide fairways, it makes you focus in a little bit here. You know, you can't get carried away with yourself hitting it 30 yards offline and being all right. You know, out here 30 yards offline might be OB. So you've got to pay attention. You got to be ready to hit some quality golf shots.
We'll go to Shane in the front row. Can we get a microphone to him?
Hey Collin, I'm just a little bit of a strange question, but do you ever get a sense when you're going to win or when the week might be a week that you could win before you actually start playing, or does it always take you by surprise?
It doesn't take me by surprise. No, you have these weeks where you feel really good, and I had those weeks of players Valspar match play, and I think I played awful. So that, you know, no, sometimes it doesn't work like that. But sometimes everything's just at peace. You know, you have nothing to worry about. You're relaxed. You're not worried about the golf. You're not worried about stuff at home, family, little issues, whatever, random little things. You know, if a friend's texting you for anything. Some weeks just go by really, really easy. And when you look back, it's like, oh, you know, you were kind of just in a peaceful zone, and you got out there ready to go play golf and did your job on, you know, making a lot of birdies. But no, I have shots like that where I think they're going to go in, like 18 at Augusta. When I walked up, I was like, oh, this is going to be really good. But you know, you only have a handful of that. You know, through 3 years, I've only had a handful of those shots. They've come at pretty good times. But tournament-wise, winning, I wouldn't say so. No. I felt it was the chip shot on 14 at PGA. When I took the lead for the first time, that one I walked up to JJ and I was like, this one's going in. Like that. And you can't force yourself to do that. You know, you can try and convince yourself, but it's a different feeling. It's just like a gut feeling though.
Any other questions for Collin? All right, we appreciate your time and best of luck this week.
El nuevo Pro SL no tiene clavos, pero tiene un agarre increíble. Con una plancha de carbono adicional para optimizar el retorno de energía y un nuevo y moderno diseño, el zapato original de máximo rendimiento sin clavos tiene algunas ventajas importantes.